Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you how to increase safety while driving. In this video, I'll be going over 6 simple tips for safer driving. These are practical tips that will help you be a safer driver for yourself and everyone and everything around you. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Tip number 1 is to increase your following distance. Now, to put it simply, your following distance is the distance between your car and the car in front of you. When you're driving and there's a car in front of you, you are following that car. I mean, you're probably not actually following that car, but when you're behind it in the same lane, that is considered your following distance, okay? Now, one of the best things that you can do is increase that following distance. If you increase that following distance, it's going to give you more reaction time. So what it comes down to is this: if you're following that car too closely and that car slams on their brakes or has to swerve around something, you're gonna have to react really quickly, like really quickly, and that causes an increased likelihood for getting into an accident or a near accident. But if you increase that following distance, you also give yourself more reaction time, and more reaction time will decrease the likelihood of you getting into an accident or a near accident, and therefore it will increase the safety while you're driving. Tip number 2, and this one's really practical, it's always signal. I see so many drivers on a daily basis, switching lanes and turning and doing all sorts of stuff, pulling over without signaling. That's one of the worst things that you can do. Your signals are designed to let everyone else know what you plan on doing. And therefore, if you use them, you're going to tell everybody else what you plan on doing, and everyone can react accordingly. If you don't use them, then what might happen is, let's say you're making a right-hand turn, you're going to make a right-hand turn, and you don't put on your signal. What's going to happen is you're going to be pressing your brake to slow down. You're going to hit your brakes to slow down the car before you make the turn, and you're going to be slowing down. The person behind you is not going to know why you're slowing down. That might cause you to get rear-ended or honked at, or you might get, into a near accident, and you don't want to be in that position. It only takes a matter of a moment to put your signal on, so always use your signal. Practical tip number 3 for increased safety is to leave earlier. When you leave right on time or just a few minutes early, you're probably going to feel rushed. And when you feel rushed, whether you intend on doing this or not, you make quick decisions, and quick decisions aren't the best decisions while driving. I mean, you have to be able to react quickly, but to make a decision based on being in a rush is not a great thing to do. So with that being said, if you leave earlier, whether that's 10 minutes earlier, 20 minutes earlier, half an hour earlier, if you leave earlier, then you're going to be able to make better decisions as a driver, and therefore it's going to increase your level of safety that you are showing and that you have as a driver. One of the best things that you can do to leave earlier is have something that you can do on the go. People don't want to leave earlier because they don't want to arrive half an hour early and just sit in their car and do nothing. So do something like this: leave earlier and arrive earlier so you're not feeling rushed, and make some content for a YouTube channel or for any social media platform, or make some calls, or call your relatives, or call your loved ones, or organize your day. Do anything. Have something to do so that when you leave earlier, you don't feel like you're wasting your time. Leave earlier, arrive earlier, don't feel rushed, and have something to do when you get there early. Practical tip number 4 is to get rid of distractions. You want to eliminate as many distractions as possible. One of the tips that I always say that goes hand in hand with this is to create a playlist. So many people will, stream music from their phone onto their car, whether it's through Bluetooth or through, an auxiliary jack or anything like that. They'll figure out a way to get the music from their phone or from their audio device onto their car. And what this does is sometimes people are left searching for songs because they don't want to listen to the song that's currently playing. I recommend making a playlist. You can do this even every week. It'll only take a few minutes if you're just editing a pre-existing playlist to add on a few new songs and stuff like that. And when you have a playlist, you're not, fiddling around looking for songs. songs, you are just, letting it play through. Therefore, it's going to limit the distractions significantly. You're not going to be looking for new songs or wondering, which song should I listen to next. A playlist will just continue to play for you. Practical tip number 5 is to constantly scan the mirrors. Now, as you're driving, you're looking in front of you at the road in front of you and sort of around you. But what's going on behind you is pretty much just as important as what's going on as in front of you. It's almost as important as what's going on in front of you. So with that being said, as you're driving, just scan the mirrors. Check your rear view mirror, your right side mirror, your left side mirror, and then look to the front again. Now, different people have different rules of thumb for how often this should happen, but I would say check with your local regulations and what's commonly accepted where you live and use that as your gauge. This is especially true if you plan on taking your driving test or if you have it booked in a short period of time, or if you're going to be getting your license in the future through a driving test. Make sure that you know what's commonly accepted, because if they want you to check, if the driving examiner wants you to check your mirrors every 15 seconds and you're checking them every minute, then that's probably not going to look that great. So look at what's commonly accepted where you live and use that as a guide and a gauge. Last but not least, the 6th tip for safer driving is to look everywhere when reversing. So many people, when they reverse, they just check their mirrors and then they turn their head like this and then they start reversing. And that's very unsafe because you really cannot see what's going on all around your car just by checking your mirrors and going like this. That's so unsafe and it's a horrible thing to do. So when you're reversing, check all of your mirrors, turn your head, look out that rear windshield over there, look on the right side of your car, look on the left side of your car, and then constantly do that as you are reversing. When you reverse, you shouldn't just check once and then just, hope for the best. That's a horrible thing to do. It's so unsafe. So in order to increase your safety as you're reversing, just constantly look everywhere. Look at your mirrors, look all around the car, look behind the car, and so forth. And that's basically it. In this video, I've told you how to increase safety while driving, and I've gone over 6 tips for safer driving. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.